Here's our 2008 Viper srt-10. This is the 600 horsepower 8.4 liter engine. There's no damage whatsoever that I'm aware of up in here. Everything looks nice and clean. You know, all the cooling was not even damaged whatsoever. I know the front bumper cover was replaced. This headlight was replaced. This one is original. And then this fender was replaced along with the front bumper cover. It was basically right here. There was no damage to the rocker or anything that way. We'll get to the back of the car here in just a second, but when the damage here, I think it slid into a curb or something like that. Kind of seemed to have gone this way. But the fender had went up here, it chipped the hood just a little bit right there and there. A little touch-up paint would kind of fix that. And then the hood itself has got just a little bit of a paint crack right there. In other words, the gapping along the front of the car seems fine. Along the hoods on the sides seem fine. But this headlight right here, you can see there's a little bit more of a gap right there than there is on this side. And I think this side here, the headlight needs to come forward just a little bit. And actually, I think the fender needs to come forward a little bit too, because back here, you can see there's a little bit more of a gap back here than there is on that side. And then here, it's pretty tight. So I think this fender, you know, if you really want to make it perfect, I think the fender should slide forward just a little bit. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but if you could, you know, widen this gap and shorten that gap by sliding that forward, I think you'd be fine. Otherwise, the rest of the fender is fine. There was no damage here to this rocker. The rims on this side of the car were damaged, but we had a set of these rims that we picked up and we threw them on. A lot of people like the SRT black on black rims. Now here I noticed, you know, I know there's a little access cover here for the horn. That access cover is missing, and a little part of the bottom liner here is missing as well. Otherwise, everything else in there is all fully intact. Of course, you know, the mirror's good and tight. Oops, that door is locked. We'll do a walk around here and I'll unlock the car. These tires, the rims have just a couple little nicks in them kind of going around the vehicle. Nothing horrible, but they are there. The tires are pretty much like brand new. Trunk shuts nice, the gap's nice all along there. Tire tread there. Again, the back tires look like they're brand new. Unlock the car here. We'll come back over to this side. Just apologize about the wind today. It's a little windy, but I do not have any owner's manuals. That door, as you can see, it shuts really nice. The gap's really good. As for the rear of the car, let me go ahead and pull the keys out of it really quick here, then I can shut this door too. See, that door shuts really well. Gaps look really good. See, this one here, I think this fender could actually go back just a tick. the gap's a little wider here than here. It's just kind of, and there's a little paint nick right there. That's just, if you're fussy, that's kind of what I see, and that's my honest opinion of it. Might be a little bit of a flaw right here in the paint, but I think that will buff off right there. Now the back, the rear of the car, we had the rear bumper cover painted. Like I said, I don't know if it slid against something, but there was a mark right here, and then down along here, and then the tail light right along in here had a little scuff on it, so we had to replace that tail light as well. Go ahead and start the car up. See all the lights go out except for the seatbelt light, which I'll go ahead and put my seatbelt on. There's no issues with the top going up and down either. So there's no issues with that. We'll show you some pictures of the car with the top down as well. AC is blowing really nice and cold. Radio sounds well. So your oil pressure, your temp, or that'd be actually your oil temp. That's your coolant temp, battery. Where it says, you can see here, there's 8,409 miles on the car. And the fuel gauge. The little red light saying the brake light, which the emergency brake's on. Take that off and that goes away. Of course, horn works well. I do actually have 2 sets of keys for the car as well, so you got 2 keys and 2 key fobs. Of course, we got your cigarette lighter. Here's our other key and key fob. We'll just go for just a little drive here. Car does run true and straight. There's no shimmy, shakes, or rattles. Straight stretch of road, steering wheel's straight. touching the steering wheel at all. We're still going straight down the road. Well, there we're in 6th gear, and you can see we're doing about 60 miles an hour, about 1100 RPMs. Personally, I think that's the wrong gear to be in at this speed. I would be in 5th, which is what I just shift back into.